So what, you want me to just speak alien for like 2 seconds?
Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Sometimes you really gotta be.
To translate what Joseph just said, it's time to enter the Badlands.
If you hadn't guessed it, we're gonna be reviewing Predator Badlands. Welcome to the Triple Take. I'm Joseph.
Equok. I'm Annie.
Y'all are trying way too hard.
I want to speak the language.
I'm Sleepy Frank.
And based off of Frank, I don't know how much info he's really gonna give if you watch 40% of the movie sleeping in the theater. But
The things I do for the take.
This is not for the triple.
So
The take.
in terms of non-spoiler, probably give this movie a good 9. And I would probably get a 10 for me if it was actually rated R. I didn't know it was rated R or rated PG-13 until after I watched the movie, because since they didn't have any red blood shown, they got away with damn near everything, to be honest. Because the movie does exemplify one thing about the Predator franchise, especially in visual media that you don't really see, which was the Yautja culture, their way as a people. And they're very brutish, they're very semi-honorable, they stick to their code. If you don't align with their code, they're willing to just get rid of you. And their way of life, for as long as they live, is a very harsh life to live. And I really liked how this movie showed that. And for the most part, like, I'm a big sci-fi nerd, so the way that the movie presented itself visually, it's a very beautiful movie to kind of just watch. Whether it be the Yautja culture, or this planet, Jenna, of just how hostile it is, to see how these creatures, like literally everything on this planet, is willing to kill anything that gets in its way. Like, if you don't respect a thing's space, it's going to kill you. That's what this world is, and it's really nice how they brought this fictitious world alive, and I really dug it for that.
For me, I'm gonna say this, and I hopefully my point gets across. For me, this is like an 8 out of 10. There are some very slow parts of this movie that I will not lie, I almost fell asleep. I didn't follow through like Frank. There was a little bit of moments in here where it felt a little bit like a roller coaster that went up and then just stayed stagnant for a little bit and then went up and then stayed stagnant again and went up. You know what I'm saying? So I want to harp in on this so much because this is my probably favorite part about this movie. There are no humans. I've been waiting for that in any type of sci-fi movie for so long. Humans do not need to be an integral part of the story. And this movie does exactly that. It just says, you know what? We'll have humans evolve, but they'll just be robots. Like that's the closest way we get to this. And I love that about this movie. I love the action. I love the simplistic story of just a dude. It's basically just a dude trying to prove himself to his clan. At the end of the day, if you look at it in the long term, that's all he's trying to do. I would say, and this is my hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me in the butt statement. This is my favorite Predator movie in all the Predator movies I've seen, and I think it's not. I disagree with Joseph. Maybe because I'm not that into sci-fi as much as Joseph is, but I don't find it to be a 9 or a 10. But I think it sits around an 8. I don't think it'll be my top 5 movies of 2025, but it definitely might crack maybe top 15.
So when it comes to the 40%er here, I still got a good taste of the movie, despite falling asleep, honestly. Like, I feel like it wasn't that hard of a movie to follow. Like, the plot was simple. It was just mostly action, and even though the plot was simple and the story was simple, it was a good story, which is good, right? Even just the beginning was kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the fact that their culture is the way that it is really goes to show like how much of a boss you gotta be, right? Boss you gotta be. I'm gonna say it like that. The action was great. I forgot to give my rating. I think I would actually break it and give it a 9 out of 10. Just because I'm taking a little bit of my bias out, where like I don't know much about the Predator, but from what I know of it, and I think Manny touched on it a little bit, was since there's no humans in this, it was more focused around the actual like Predator people, opposed to like the people running away from him, right? Because like if you really think about it, the coolest part about the Predator movies is the Predator, right? So it's just like, but it just so happens to be centered around the people running away from him, from from memory because I haven't seen those movies in a really long time. So, but like those people are really uninteresting. It makes them more like horror-y and more horror and thrillery kind of, I guess, like suspenseful kind of. He's like, when is it gonna pop up, right? But when it comes to this movie, it's more action and like story based. The only reason why I don't give it a 10 is because it falls into the same tropes that every other movie is falling in nowadays. You got like, even though I like the character and it was funny and enjoyable, everybody gotta have the funny, cute animal. Everybody gotta have the comedic relief partner. Everybody gotta have everybody gotta have it. And like, I'm not saying it was bad. They did it well, but like, I'm kind of tired of it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like at this point they feel like they need it in every single movie that's action or like this type of style. The only thing that saved it from an 8 for me was the sci-fi aspect of it. I think they did the visuals very well. The ships look crazy. The gadgets look crazy. The fights, the sci-fi-ish fights looked insane. And like this man, basically Tarzan in there. Like, come on, bro. That's one of my favorite movies.
Are we ready?
Definitely does not crack my top 5 though. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Are we ready? We're ready. Because I know you are ready.
Now, you're sounding the alarm now, Joseph.
I'm sounding
If
the
you've
alarm.
seen this movie, that means you're ready.
You know what to do.
You know what to do, Joseph. Sound the alarms.
Yawetuka.
That is your spoiler warning. The spoilers will begin in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that robot was That robot was the most annoying thing in this movie, bro. I promise, like, Frank said it, but he didn't say it. I'ma say it, bro.
I don't think she was annoying.
She was annoying. Like, actually
I
annoying.
don't understand why though. I see why though.
Like,
I just
bro,
heard worse.
When they have the scene where he backpacks her and she just doesn't shut up, like,
yeah.
bro, stop. Like,
At least in the realm of the story. Because I get why she's annoying. I didn't find her annoying.
Me either.
But in the realm of the story and how Mother gave them feelings or emotions, because, you know, in that world, synthetics are limited to what they could do unless they were allowed to do it. And just how she interpreted feelings, to me, it justified how she acted. Especially for if she's just stuck there for X amount of time and she's just, you know, obviously she's a synthetic, but she was just stuck there for months until the Yautja showed up to, or Deck showed up to help her. And in terms of like spoiler, or I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but lore-wise, this is the first movie that I guess would be
In
not
the
a spin-off,
timeline?
but would be fully, yeah, would be actually like canon to a Predator series.
It'll be the first before all the other ones.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
So
Okay, cool.
if you
I'm
take
just trying to
Predator
follow.
1, Predator 2, by extension Predators, the one where they're on the hunting planet, and then this movie. It's the first Predator movie to really canonize and connect the Alien franchise, because then you have the grand conglomerate that is the Weyland-Yutani Corporation into it.
I peeped that. I was like,
And
well, where did I see that before, bro?
pretty much making the Alien versus Predator franchise no longer really a spin-off, but an actual thing.
And it would make sense to be survive in the same universe.
Correct. It, you know,
there
those
was more Easter eggs behind that. There was one that that I'm pretty sure nobody caught. That which was the fact that when the other robot, her twin,
Tessa.
goes back on the ship, there's an alien skull on the ship.
Why do you even peep
And
that?
he already collected one, so it wouldn't be in the realm of possibilities that
Correction.
that
I'll
what?
correct you on that part. That wasn't his skull. That was his brother's ship.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities that this could be leading to an eventual Alien versus Predator movie, which nowadays in 2025 it would be like probably in like 2027 realistically, but it would look amazing if they just make sure that no humans are involved. Like, they don't need humans.
I don't want there to be even robots in that. 1v1, throwing hands. That's it.
Like, I would want to watch the movie, which, if you go back, like a few years back when you played some of the Predator games, like in the early 2000s, where, for the most part, most of the story, all they were speaking is their Yautja language, which I'm okay watching an entire movie that is subbed, and all I hear is Yautja. Like,
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I think that's another reason why I fell asleep, because I watched it late at night. and like I think the fact that I had to read like made it worse.
I guess.
I could see why it made it worse, but it also, I think it's one of the better parts of the movie is the fact that like they're speaking their language.
I agree.
And we actually
Yeah, it's very
we
immersive.
actually had conversation amongst predators. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that I love the beginning. I love the intro. Look, one of the gripes I had with this, and I didn't mention it in the non-spoiler because, you know, I just don't want to, just in case this feels like a spoiler, because it felt like one to me. The fights between predators, which is why I bumped this down a little bit lower. The best fight was the first one, and the second one, which is, so with the first one is Deck and his brother. That one was the best one. The second one between the father and the brother, that one was garbage. I was very disappointed.
I mean,
The third one with Deck and his father, that was also very disappointing because they fought longer. The brother and the brothers, they fought longer. I felt like it was a little bit more like, you know, like action-esque. I'll be honest with you. The father dipped up the brother in like 2 minutes. Like he sucked. Like, and then on top of that, the father did it in such quick succession. So then when you get to the ending of the movie, Deck fights his father. He beats him in 2 minutes. like I was expecting a little bit more fighting between the predators, and I was very disappointed that the first one that we got was the best. That's just my opinion. Obviously, you could disagree. I don't mind you if you disagree.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
I feel like there's a reason for that because I feel like in the second fight he wasn't really trying to fight him to beat him. He was trying to fight him to save his brother, and I feel like that's kind of the reason why. And like you can say that in the third fight, Deck being able to like kind of find his own in that time frame and actually like basically training on a crazy planet.
Yeah.
And like I think that his brother knew that even though his brother was better, more experienced, that Deck had more potential because obviously we know who he is, right? So it's just like he's like the GOAT predator.
So, opposed to that particular clan that we get to see in the movie, the way Yautja culture kind of is, like, you know, they're obviously hunters, and their species as a whole, culturally speaking, they say hunt, but hunt in your way. So for Deck's clan, his dad was very survival of the fittest, strength above everything else. The main difference between Deck and his brother is obviously like a brawling dude. Deck is just a scrawny runt. They literally describe him as like biologically inferior to the rest of them because he's just a skinny little dude. But as a hunter, he's not all about strength. He would really be more watching, observing, learning, and playing about his game smart.
He's a scrappier guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's scrappier and he's smart. Because, sure, in the beginning of the movie, he had all his tools, like the cool laser bow. I was in for that. And then he loses it in 2
Saber,
minutes.
bro.
Which,
The Saber was crazy.
yeah, the machete.
Might give Johnny Trejo one for his money on that one, I'll tell you that.
100%. But,
They already dipped him up.
they did.
Yeah, no.
Where was I? Or like in the beginning of the movie, you see Deck. He's very timid. He doesn't know what he's doing. He wants to prove himself, and he's more emotional about it. He goes about his hunt. Whereas as the movie progresses, he's learning. Sure, Thea was annoying, whatever, but he took whatever information she said and applied it. Every little thing that she taught him, he applied to himself. When he had that whole, like, nature-made predator suit / weapons, I was in for that. Him using the stupid worm that spits acid as a whole plasma caster, I was just like, you know what? You get my money. So then when he fights his dad, the main reason why his brother lost against his dad, one, dad is a jerk and didn't want to fight honorably and just went invisible. His brother didn't have a mask, so obviously he's not going to know where he's at. But then Deck was just like, you know what? You want to go invisible? Bet. Turns on the ship, gets enough sand to see where his dad is, and did the job.
Like for me, like I said, it was just too fast.
That's fair.
And there are certain scenes in this movie that you could cut to make that fight longer. And I think the movie would have benefited from it. That's me. Obviously, there are certain people that would like Joseph, that he actually appreciates the way it was done. I don't disagree. Like, you know, the game's the game. The movie already came out. We watched it, you know. I just think that certain things could have been done a little bit better, which is why I dropped my rating. And I wanted to add this in. Another point that I wanted to make of why I dropped my rating. This unkillable thing lost twice. And it lost to Todoroki twice. Because literally, this whole thing is built up. What is the Kalisk? Did I say this?
The Kalisk.
Okay. This thing is built up. The Kalisk is built up as this most unstoppable, unkillable creature due to the fact that it could regenerate, right? It seems like that's the only thing that makes it unkillable. Because this thing can't fight. This thing doesn't know how to fight back. Because guess what? It got cooked twice. And they made it seem like it's a whole big thing. No, it was not. That is another reason I brought it down on the rating, because they harp in on this unkillable thing. And it's like, this thing is the GOAT. This thing is the greatest thing to survive this land. This world doesn't handle the Kalisk. And then Todoroki just hit him with the left side. Todoroki hit him with the left side, and he went, ugh. And then what happened? It thought it won, and it got blown up.
I mean, to that unkillable thing, at least when the Yautja say that, it's supposed to be an absolute 1v1. At least for when the synths won, they kind of cheated. In the sense of, they have a whole army to deal with this thing. They ain't 1v1ing. And I don't know if it was ice or glass, because a part of me felt like it was more glass than ice, but whatever, however the power works, or the stupid bomb. But at least in that sense, I see what you're saying, and I kind of agree. But at the same time, it be what it be. That's supposed to, like, if you're gonna do your Yautja hunt, you're not supposed to use the most overpowered tools to beat whatever you're beating. You're supposed to use the bare, not necessarily bare minimum, but the lowest tier of tools available, where you proving yourself is you proving yourself, not using the tools to make it happen. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I completely understand the lore behind their culture. It just I feel like they shouldn't have harped on the thing that much, because they made it seem so big, and then for it to go out like that, not once but twice, was very disappointing.
Well, on that note, at least going towards what would be a sequel, I hope we get. And the way that this movie was created.
Mama!
Who was
Mama!
that? The mother.
Mama!
Because at least in terms of the cultural aspect of the Kalisk, it's unkillable, right? So at least the clan sees him come up with it, and not necessarily having killed one, but then to keep one as a pet, my dude. And there's like, what? And then the implications of his mother showing up, to where hopefully we get to see more of, or at least for me, what I hope for, you get to see more of the Yautja culture, the more of their actual home world of Yautja Prime, to see how they would view what would happen. And I would think, just because of how their culture is, like, okay, you beat your dad, and not only did you not kill a Kalisk, you happened to tame one. And in the taming of one, you know, they would give him a much more serious test, I guess, for him to grow up and move up in his own culture.
So Mama would be proud, is what you're saying.
If he passes her test, yes.
Man, but I gotta tell you, I love the weapons in this movie. That's all I think about. Like when the rhino thing was coming at him and he threw the machete and it cut it in half, I was like, bruh.
The slow-mo was working. The slow-mo was working.
Facts. And I think and this is why I like One Piece, which is funny in comparison. But when you were talking about the setting of this world, it's so like based off like real things, but like super quirky and like,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Out of nowhere.
Now that you say that, like the scariest thing in this movie is the damn tree. Screw that. That's no. That thing.
Nah, that catches me. I'm cooked. I mean anything, but that specifically for real.
Screw that tree. Manny's face. I'm watching the movie, and then he's like, "What is this caterpillar?" And it starts puffing up, and he throws it, and it explodes like a grenade.
Bro, tell me not. That was like a crazy part, bro. This man picked up basically a little larva, and it just went explosion. I was like, what?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I really liked the setting of this, and I liked how everything came together. Like, that's why I gave it the 9. Like, yeah, it was some disappointing parts. Like I said, the trope. But like when it came to the personality between them together, like they were so. It's so funny to see two characters that are so serious and don't understand sarcasm, but in completely different ways, like interact. right? So it was just like it was a nice movie. Like I definitely you should watch it. You definitely have a good time watching it. Doesn't crack my top 10 or top 5 though.
To close it out, because I want to go back to what Joseph said about the future. Real quick, for the future, please don't add humans. They don't need
I
to
agree.
be.
I agree
They
with that
don't
point.
need to be here in this world. That if you're building this world, because this could be a one-off movie and they could never
Wait.
bring it back up. That could also be a thing. But
And I wouldn't. That would be disappointing.
that'd be really disappointing. But I'm just saying that's a world that we could live in.
That's true.
I just want to harp in on the fact that like Mom's coming. I hope this eventually leads to what I said prior. I hope this leads to an AVP. Because an AVP nowadays, in this, like with all the different practical effects and upgrades that we have
With,
now,
man,
I believe that
the
this
alien,
could low
Hey.
key like
Romulus.
Alien Romulus. I
Yeah, there
believe
we go.
Alien
Thank you.
Romulus and
With Raimi and
Badlands.
Romulus leading into this, like that'd be
Like
fire.
they
That'd
could
be fire.
they could just literally make movies interconnecting these without even saying anything, and then boom, AVP, and I'm in there. That'll sell. It'll sell.
For real.
That's
for
what
real.
I'm hoping
I'll
for
definitely be
the
there. I'll be
future.
in there. Yeah, I think. And honestly, we didn't even talk about the robots, bro. When they pulled up, man, like we were over here see this man struggling in these woods, bro, like barely surviving in his grass, which is crazy, by the way.
The razor
and then-
grass.
bro. And then they pull up and you go dead. Like I'm just like, I bet. Like I guess to them it's like nothing. That's kind of crazy, but
Pretty
okay.
much.
But no, okay, yeah, 9 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. And I rate it that high because compared to the franchise as a whole,
That's a 10 out of 10 compared to the franchise, bro.
yeah,
That's a 12. That's a 12 out of 10.
No cap.
Because
This franchise,
the
this
movie,
franchise has gone through so much disrespect. It's crazy. Actually,
Yeah.
pause. Wait a minute. Pause. I'm the only one here that's seen Prey. So both of you need to shut up a second. Because Prey
That's
was amazing.
fine. That's fine. But as a whole,
That's as a
right?
whole,
Aside from
yeah.
because Prey, you can't deny. Prey still follows the formula of the previous movies where you have human or predator versus human or human versus predator.
At least
Yeah.
this one
This
made
movie-
this one made that. At least Prey made it more sense.
I understand.
But he's
I'll
talking about in
watch
its
it.
own aspect.
In its own
it's
aspect.
really good.
Predator Badlands took its own twist on the franchise as a whole.
And it worked.
And yeah, and the people that made the movie, don't listen to the producers. Let the creative people do it. That's all I want. Either which way. If you've seen Predator Badlands, let us know what you thought. Click the link in the description. Follow us on Instagram, Spotify, join the Discord community. If you want to chat it up, give us your theories, please let us know. Because obviously, I got my theories. And as always, this has been The Triple Take. I am Joseph.
I'm ready. I'm Eddie.
Give me that AVP, brother. I'm Frank. Peace.
Ja, ik da.